My name is Charlie Moran, or Charles Moran Sr. My Hiradza name is Shishi, which means not so much of a snort where they're sucking in through your nose, but blowing out from your nose and your mouth like a bull charging. You know how a bull would rake the ground, or a buffalo bull or a buck would scrape the ground and then make that noise before it charges. That's my name. That noise that male animal makes is my name. I'm Hiradza, Mandan, and Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa. And on my non-Indian side, I am Irish. That's where my last name comes from. Came through the Turtle Mountain people, and also French through my grandmother, again from Turtle Mountains, through the Michif people. How we try to work with our teachers here, the new teachers that come aboard, is we try to give them a taste before they start. They might have worked in another Indian community prior to being here, or they could be a brand new teacher from out east or west, have never been on the plains. And we tried to tell them and show them some of the places where they could take their children, or maybe they're curious about where these kids live. When new teachers come in, we want to show them or teach them about us here. And like I said, maybe they're not from the plains or from the mountain regions, because our territory is extended out there. Maybe they're East Coast, West Coast, and foreign. We've even had foreign teachers here. So we try to show them who we are in the plains. I tried to take them around and visit spots where a lot of the children live. Some of the tribal visiting places like the Earth Lodge villages, some of the buttes where they can drive up where they sightsee, show them where the stores are, the churches, clinics, just a lot of different places, do a tour of our community. And to explain to them who we are. We're plains people, but yet at the same time we have to be Western North Dakota. And that's really tough because of the situations that the boundaries on both sides. You could be Native American, you could be non-Indian, but there's still boundaries, and people either cross those boundaries in a bad way, or you can cross them in a good way. And we try to do both in a good way so that these kids will feel comfortable with their teachers. Because a lot of times you get a teacher that comes into your school system and maybe owes a little loan money and is working through a program where they have to teach in Native American community, and then they can go back to wherever they're from, or something like that. Or maybe they're just done tired of traveling and teaching on the road and want to go home to where they're from. So we get a lot of teachers, but we get a high turnover of teachers, one-year teachers. And it's really hard for our children to trust because of historical grief, because of all the things that the children have been told by their parents, their grandparents, in which they were taught by their parents and their grandparents of all the hardships. So it's hard to trust. It's hard to cross them boundaries and to give that attention that how other Native American teachers get, because it's a different feeling for them. It's like, well, are they going to be here another year? Are they going to stick around? do I trust them to be here, to tell them things, and then they're going to go to the principals, or are they going to mark me, label me? You know, and it's hard here. It's not all bows and arrows and making earth lodges and cooking traditional food. So there's a lot of hardship, and these children carry a lot of garbage, a lot of hurt, and it's hard to sometimes come to work because you know these children are hurting, but at the same time you want to be here to help them. And that's what I try to get across to the new teachers, that go to public events, go to all these activities in our communities, dances, honorings, public ceremonies. Go to those, not just the basketball games, not just the football games, volleyball matches, not just to the school events, but the community events. Go out there and be public. So these kids see that. They start saying, well, oh, they're going to stay. They're going to be here for a while. Because we have teachers here that don't live in a community that these kids never see outside of the school. So they don't, like, no, we don't trust them. Or, well, I don't think they're going to be here very long. We'll just do what we have to do and then get through it. But if you are in a community, these kids really, you'll probably get adopted. You know, these kids open up. They want to make you part of their family. And I've seen that with a lot of teachers here that do stick around, that do become community members, and are active in the community, not just through the school activities. Pretty soon they're called auntie or uncle or grandma or grandpa. Family members know them, grandparents know them. You know, I've seen that not just in this community here in Newtown, but also in Mandaree. I worked in Mandaree for 6 years as well, and I've seen their teachers the same way, that are real active within the community, you know, doing other things. So it was cool. It was nice to see that. And, you know, it's how people are in our communities, how people get along. You know, it's a hard thing for some of these kids to even get along at home, you know, and to trust their own. So there's a lot of doubt that these children carry. Like, I can't even trust my relatives at home, where, you know, I don't want to trust these guys here. So they act out, or they're looking for negative attention, any attention they can get, whether it's good or bad, you know. So so I try to talk to the new staff about things like that, you know, lifestyles, where they're coming from, and drive out in the communities and see some of the communities that are having a hardship. Some of the communities that are the streets that are doing okay. You know, I try to show them both sides. I'm not just trying to give them a negative picture as soon as they come to work here. I'm not trying to do that. I tried to give them a lot of different things.